Good morning, students. In today's class, we will discuss about the phases of business model design. So first, we'll discuss about the objectives of business model innovation. To fulfill a current need in the market with no other product or company or meeting. So be first in market with an idea, technology or product. Be a change agent in the industry by introducing a new business world. So this can be done out of a desire to bring the innovation, create an evolution in the market, or simply to change things up and breathe a new life into the industry. Target and give birth to a whole new market. Say, for example, Swiggy, online learning app like Byju's, Vedantu, Google Pay, etc. All these comes under the business model innovations. Now we'll see the starting point for business model design innovation. The company wants to answer an unmet need and therefore satisfy the market. The company wants to bring either an entirely fresh product or service into the customer segment. So bring positive innovation or simply change an existing market. We try to provide the genesis for a new market. So here we try to find an answer for the unmet needs where we try to satisfy the market. The company wants to bring an entirely fresh product or service to its customer segment, and we try to bring in the positive innovation, or simply we try to change the existing market. Then we try to provide the genesis for a new market. Now we see the challenges being faced in the business model design innovation. Discovering and selecting a model that fits your requirements is the first challenge you face. Then the experimenting with the model to discover any limitations. Then changing the model as and when needed due to feedback. Handling the ambiguity. So how do we handle the ambiguity part and how we work on the feedback part? All this counts the challenges in the business model innovation. Now we move to the topic, the phases of business model design. So there are 5 phases in the business model design: mobilize, understand, design, implement, and manage. Mobilize, understand, design, implement, and manage. The first one is mobilize. In this phase, it actually takes steps to be ready for implementing a new business model successfully. The purpose of the team working on the change is to ensure that everything is in place for the business model to be implemented. This requires ensuring that all the elements of the 9 building blocks of business model canvas are available. The next one is understand. So the business model design phase has to be understood thoroughly for this stage to be a success. So an environmental scan is a must, like SWOT, PESTLE, PORTUS. These PORTUS 5 force model. All this can be applied here. This includes the market research. We try to study and involve the customers. We try to interview the domain experts. So the team should be deeply informed of the different aspects impacting the business model design, whether they are internal, such as the customer and technology, or external, like the market and environment. So this has to be had a thorough understanding. Only then we can move on to the phases of model design. The third phase is design. So we come up with a number of relevant business model options and we try to test them against your business in order to find a suitable match or number of matches. We come up with a business model prototype. Prototype means it's actually a model on the results of the phase 2. So this phase must be focused on arriving at one final iteration, which is a perfectly tailored business model for the organization. So we try to reach one final iteration here. The next phase is implement. So this is the execution phase of the entire process. Now that you are armed with the perfect business model, it is time to start the groundwork on the company. And if you take it as a concept to reality, as the name suggests, this phase is focused on implementing the business model of the device. The fifth phase is manage. We try to change and improve the business model design based on the market reactions. The critical to success factor in this phase are obviously the ability of the management to view the business from a strategic and long-term perspective, be proactive and manage the day-to-day running of all and the adherence to the business model itself. So there are 5 phases in the business model design: mobilize, understand, design, implement, and manage. So in case of mobilize, we try to take the steps to be ready for implementing a new business model successfully. The purpose of the team work together on the change to ensure that everything is in place for the business model to be implemented. So this will require ensuring that all the elements like the 9 building blocks of business model canvas are available in this stage. The second phase is understand. So the business model design phase has to be understood thoroughly for the stage to be a success as an environmental scan is a must here. Like SWOT, PESTLE, Portis 5 model, all these models we try to apply here. So this will include market research. We study and involve the customers and we apply them, interview domain experts here. So the team should be deeply informed on the different aspects impacting the business model design, whether they are internal and such as the customers and technology or external like the market and environment. So here we consider the internal factor as well as the external factor. For the internal factor, we consider the customers and technology, and for the external factors, we consider the factors like market and environment. The third stage is design stage. Here we try to come up with a number of relevant business model options and we test them against our business in order to find a suitable match or number of matches. We come up with a business model prototype based on the results of the second phase. So this phase must be focused on arriving at a final iteration, so which is a perfectly tailored business model for the organization. The fourth phase is the implementation phase. So this is the execution phase of the entire process. So you are armed with the perfect business model. It is time to start the groundwork on the company, and we can take it to the concept to reality. As the name suggests, this course is focused on implementing the business model of the choice. The last stage is manage. So we try to change and improve the business model design and on the market reactions. Based on the market reactions, we try to do the changes. The critical to success factors in this phase are obviously the ability of the management to view the business from a strategic and long-term perspective, be proactive, and manage the day-to-day running of the adherence to the business model itself. So in today's class, we have discussed about the different phases of business model design. There are 5 phases in the business model design. Thank you.